Hello again, modelers. TrekWorks here. Well, first of all, my apologies to everybody. I actually posted this final video of the Enterprise Buildup and wound up losing it. I was doing some editing on it and lost the whole thing, deleted it, and didn't save the original, so I'm out here reshooting this whole thing. Apologies to anybody who's already seen this. So anyway, I wanted to show you what the model turned out like. It's really came out nice. Very pleased with it. There's a lot of things that we're looking at here as far as paint and decal work. There's a lot of little sub-assemblies and parts and everything that go on this model as well too. So it's more of a little bit more of an advanced model as far as the Star Trek Starship models go. And but it can be done if you follow a couple of these little tips here that I showed. You guys can get yours to turn out just as well as this, even if you're just doing it for the first time. Just take your time on it. The biggest thing that you want to pay attention to on this one is these engines here. The engines are multi-piece units, and this little pylon assembly here was definitely not straight when I took it out of the box and assembled it. So one of the things that you want to do, what I did actually, is I used a little bit of heat for my heat gun that you see me using all the time in my paint videos, and I heated those up just a little bit, and especially this one on this on the starboard side, I took and kind of bent it up just a little bit, and then when I mounted the engines on the top of this, I glued them in, and then I made a little jig, a little kind of thing that this sits in, and made sure they were nice and straight, and just let it sit overnight and dry. I didn't even touch it, and lucky enough got them pretty decently straight. The saucer itself too is actually very heavy, and one of the things that you want to do with that as well is use some, maybe even a little bit stronger cement. I used some epoxy on this neck here, and it actually, I let that sit overnight as well too, because I didn't want to take any chances. That thing is awful heavy. By the time you've got it all assembled and painted and everything, it just adds a whole lot of weight, and it's really, you can see it here, it sticks out, you know, it's just hanging on the back side of that, so there's a lot of weight on that edge. I'm going to replace the stand a little bit later with a nice wood base and maybe a little brass plaque on that. But we didn't do any lighting on this one. I just didn't really want to get into all the stuff that this model requires to be lit. I already have a lit Excelsior anyway, so it's kind of the same shit basically, but I just really wanted to concentrate on the paint work and just kind of doing this right out of the box. Again, I want to say that an aftermarket decal set for this model is an absolute must. The Don's Light and Magic set that I used is a good one, but there are several others available out there, and it just adds so much to the model that you just can't paint that on there yourself. It's just too small and too detailed, and it would look kind of plain without it. The basic sheet that you get with the model is not, besides the registry numbers and some of these little markings, there's not a lot going on with it. So a lot of white if you don't have anything going on here. So after the end of this video, there'll be a slideshow that'll show some still shots of the model all completed up and a little bit of a timeline as far as how it was built and everything. But right now I'm going to show you, I'm going to fade out the camera here, and I'm going to show you what our next project is going to be here at TrekWorks, and we're really anxious to get started on that one. I'll be right back with that. Well, this will be our next project here at TrekWorks, and this one is the Atomic City Models Studio Scale Klingon Cruiser. This is a garage kit that was molded by a guy named Scott Alexander. He's out of California. I already did the review on this one a while back, and some of you guys might have seen it already, so you know a little bit of the details about the ship. But anyway, this is a nice size battle cruiser. It's compared to the Enterprise B here, which is around 18 inches long. You can see it's going to be pretty substantially large when completed. It's an all resin kit, so it's a first for me as far as building a really big resin model. I built a lot of those small little 1/1000 scale ones, but this one is very big, and it's got some great detail on it. But it's got some parts, being resin, it's got some parts that need to be cleaned up. You can see that there's some burrs on it here and there and some imperfections in the surface, and you basically just got to clean all that up, sand it down. And I'm not going to be lighting this one due to the fact that this top of the bridge section here is one solid piece, and you could probably do it with some fiber optics drilling in there and then maybe cross drilling and routing it through, but just plan on doing a really nice paint job on this model and making a nice display piece out of it, and it should look really nice. Going to paint this one up as exactly the same as the studio scale version, the gray on the top and the green. And as I showed in the review, there's some nice templates for actually painting on all your Klingon insignias instead of using the decals, so that's really going to look slick. And can't wait to get to this one. I'll be starting up on it in the next couple of days. It's going to be a lot of boring, tedious sanding. I'll show you guys some of those updates, but I might bore a lot of you guys with that stuff, so I'll show you a few shots of the sanding and some of the prep work and everything, and we'll get down to the assembly and start painting it and doing all the fun stuff. So hope you'll follow along with that one. And again, at the end of this video, you'll see a nice slideshow of the Enterprise B from start to finish. Thanks for watching again, and we'll see you next time.